warm good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for staying with us. And today we have Dr. Sharayu Rajwade Kshirsagar from, and she's India's first homeopathy clinic coach featured in Hindustan Times, coaching budding homeopaths to polish their skills of homeopathy, teaching them science and art of homeopathy and insider skills of practice. She practiced pure homeopathy in Mumbai and Pune for last 9 years. That's a really long years in this young age, and I would like to share her brilliant educational journey. She is educated from Vivekanand Education Society, Mumbai, and she was also head girl of a school and participated in various science projects, debates, and speeches. She has also won the Miss Vivekanjali for Personality contest. She has done her homeopathy from Dondu Mama Sati Homeopathy Medical College, Pune, and submitted research paper on role of pulsatilla in obesity and management of college-going girls to CCRH and participated inter-college debates and speeches. She was also she has also educated in the Tulip International Institute, Mumbai, affiliated with Gold Coast Training Academy, Australia, in 2019 to 2020, which is really great. And she also have work experience at Dr. Shrayu Homeopathic Clinic, Dr. Shrayu Healthcare, and Dhondu Mama Sati Homeopathic Medical College, Pune. She has also organized various boot camps and health camps, and she has helped lot of homeopaths and students in educating. She also serves education on online platforms on Insta, Facebook, and where not. Many of her followers are very grateful to her as she explains clinical insights, her clinical cases, which helps students to grow in their clinical practice. So in this age, we are very inspired that Dr. Shrew is educating various homeopaths and students. And today also we are going to learn a lot from this doctor. So thank you so much for being a respected speaker in Beyond Homeopathy 360 webinar series. Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mansi. Thank you, Homeopathy 360. Thank you, BJN publishers, for coming up with great initiative of these live webinars where everyone is going to get a lot to learn. And thank you for introducing me. It was a pleasure coming here. I think without further ado, we can start with the webinar.
Yes, sure.
Just let me know if you can see the screen. And Dr. Mansi, if you could just help me with the chat, I would like if the students are able to access the chat box.
Yeah, students have access to question answer section. They can put their queries and any question to this section.
Okay, okay. Great.
And the questions will be come up. If you can see the question and answer section, is it visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. How are all of you doing? So sorry for the delay, and let us begin with today's powerful webinar. The topic for today is very interesting. How successful homeopathy practitioners can revolutionize healthcare in India. So having a nice introduction about me, I would also like to throw some light upon the journey because, you get to learn a lot from somebody else's journey. You might come up with some ideas yourself. So I am director at Dr. Sharayu's Healthcare Private Limited, India's first homeopathy clinic coach. I'm trying to help budding and struggling homeopathy doctors to start their practice and help with their skill development. In Pune, we have a team of 5 to 6 doctors. I am trying to help women homeopaths of all ages. Sometimes, in their career, there seems to be a gap and they want to restart their practice. In the year 2022, we had this prototype of bootcamp where this was 3 months online coaching for homeopathy doctors to build their practice for skill development. And gradually we automated this in 2023 on 10th April, we launched this e-learning course, first Indian homeopath to launch something about skill development. And it has been doing very well. The response that all of you have given is fantastic. So far, we have reached more than 1,600 homeopaths pan-India from different states, and also some homeopaths overseas. We have Greek students, those who have enrolled for the program, and the community is growing. Like Dr. Mansi said, we are very much dedicated to our work of helping out homeopathy doctors and trying to build a community and ecosystem so that all of us can grow together. It is completely an e-learning course with certificate, trophy, and we make sure that we are doing hand-holding for all the homeopathy doctors, those who are under this shelter. So far, we have a core team of 80 plus homeopaths from India, where on a regular basis, we're trying to keep in touch and do hand-holding for all of them. Okay, so now let us begin with today's very important webinar. If you are an intern, if you are a practicing doctor, it would be great if you draw notes of today's webinar. It will help you introspect where are you exactly standing, and you might come up with really great ideas for your practice and for your career building. So let us start with some statistics before. Every year, as per the data that have got online, 2 lakhs of homeopathy doctors register themselves as practitioners. Okay. Out of these 2 lakhs, only 40% homeopaths are practicing. So they can be doing some mixed pathy or homeopathy or any other practice, or they are either working as a homeopathy doctor in some hospital or doing some job somewhere. Out of this 40%, only 10% homeopaths are practicing as a GP. So they are doing some practice. We don't know what practice. And out of this 10%, there is a very rare count who are practicing homeopathy alone. There is no other pathy that they are practicing. So if you see the ratio of the kind of homeopaths, those who are passing out every year or registering themselves as homeopaths, to the ratio of, the kind of homeopaths who are actually practicing is very less. And, today when we talk about homeopathy is the second largest pathy and there is a huge scope, I think we need to work on this. That is the rare count that you can see the figure over here. And for that's what I think that is the main reason why I selected this topic for all of you. And if we are not a part of this webinar right now, and if you're watching it on YouTube or if you're watching it on website, please make sure that you're drawing notes. Okay. So today, every one doctor is after 1,000 patients. This is what is the current scenario. And every year, like we have seen, 12,000 homeopaths pass. They complete their BHMS or they complete their MD. Some of them are doing hospital jobs with a 15,000 salary or something. Initially, that is like a survival thing, which many of the homeopaths do. They think of doing a job somewhere. And there are very few homeopaths, like we saw the ratio, those who are practicing. So if you want homeopathy to sustain, you need to make sure that we all are able to practice homeopathy and preach it to people. Okay, so this is what is my mission, my vision, to help homeopaths, these homeopaths also are passing out, be it interns or MD students, to help build their practice, their clinical knowledge. And the vision is to establish an ecosystem amongst ourselves so that we can contribute to the national growth of homeopathy. Okay. Now, the numbers or the figures that you see on screen, that is almost more than 13 billion US dollars. That is the global market of homeopathy. That is a huge number, isn't it? And out of this, where are you standing? Where is your share in this? Almost nowhere. Those who are practicing or those who are in the ecosystem of homeopathy, good. Those who are not practicing, those are still a student. They want to enter into this ecosystem, but they don't know how. Today's webinar is for you. You should be able to contribute in this market, be a part of this ecosystem, grab your share of success and promote homeopathy amongst your community, amongst the people, amongst the society where you're living. So let us begin. Like all of you know, homeopathy is the second most practiced pathy. Okay, but we all want to be number one. Now, recently, this was approved by the government, right? That homeopaths can practice allopathy, and even for the hospitals, allopathic medicines needs to be kept for dispensing. Amidst all this, I think all of us want to make sure that homeopathy is number one. And if we want homeopathy to be number one, what are the different things that we all need to do? Let us understand that, because your career building is going to revolve around these points. First thing, we need to establish more homeopathy practitioners. When we get to meet a lot of students or people those who are doing MD, many of my colleagues, we understand that they are good. They're good in studies. Their theoretical knowledge is good. Knowledge of materia medica is good. But when it comes to practicing homeopathy alone, where you have to be in the clinic and see the patient, still there is some lack of confidence. Even after completing masters, they need some kind of somebody to be there with them for hand holding. So somewhere the skills of practicing homeopathy are not developed, even if you have completed 10 years of education, which we all must work on. Okay. So first thing is, I know all of you want to build your career in homeopathy. The ground level, the first, you can say the stepping stone is developing your homeopathy practice skills. Only when you're good in practice, you can be a good promoter of health, a good promoter of homeopathy. Okay, next is increased touch points. Increased touch points mean, what is touch point? Where you are able to communicate to the public directly. So it can be conducting camps in the area that you are, promoting homeopathy to your relatives, to your friends, using media. So touch points can be every source of communication. Okay, now today we have social media, which is very much accessible. But if you see the kind of content with which most of our doctors make, it is not entering into that million views, and it is not entering into that higher orbit. They're still in the same space. So you have to make sure that if you want to communicate something, if you want to increase the touch points, if you want patient conversion, your communication has to be crisp, to the point. You should be able to promote homeopathy as per what is the current need. So what all mediums can you use? One is your WhatsApp statuses. You can use Instagram Reels. You can use YouTube as a very good medium for promoting homeopathy. Along with that, if you're living in a society, there are different seminars, webinars that you can conduct, health camps you can conduct. You should go out, interact with people, introduce yourself to them. Only then you are able to be a part of the community and do something for them. Third thing is being a skilled homeopath. If you want homeopathy to be number one, we all have to be very skilled with homeopathy. Now, skill is not just the skill of repertorization, not just the skill of case taking, but also staying updated with the latest technology, making sure that you're using the right kind of softwares, making sure that you're able to adapt to the newer changes that are happening in homeopathy. You should be able to communicate, counsel your patients well. Skill development doesn't happen overnight. Now, there are many of you, those who are maybe those who know me personally, or those who have been in boot camp before. It takes a lot of efforts to build your skills. So it is an everyday work to work on yourself, to take efforts for yourself. So making sure that every day, at least 1 or 2 hours, you're spending for skill development is going to help you build your profile. Next is easy access and availability. So the area that you're living in, wherever you're planning to start your practice, make sure that if you want to promote homeopathy over there, patients should have easy access to the medicines. So either you should keep medicines in your clinic, or there should be some pharmacy nearby where you can allow the patients to go and buy medicines from. Second thing is, you should be available as a doctor to them. I have seen many homeopaths invest a lot of parents' money into starting the clinic, and then they themselves are not in the clinic. This is absolutely wrong. You should be accessible to the patient. You never know when your first patient turns out in the clinic, right? So easy access, where your patient can easily come to the clinic. That is very important. Depending on the area, I have seen a few of my friends, they are practicing also in the slum areas. The kind of people that come there, it is so easily accessible to them, the healthcare, homeopathy, that they want to again and again come. The affordability, availability. So you need to choose the area where you want to practice. I don't want every homeopath to just take the cream layer as their patients. If you want homeopathy to be number one, you should penetrate it to all levels. Okay. More companies should be established. How many of you have established yourself as a proprietor at least? If you're starting your clinic, let me know in the chat box. Homeopaths have not been exposed to the kind of business knowledge which I've seen. So you are just looking for the clinic and starting your practice. You should at least register yourself as a proprietary firm and then gradually aim for private limited and then public limited. Have a bigger vision about building a homeopathy career. Only then we are going to be able to contribute to the national growth. So the first thing, whenever you want to start your practice, please make sure you register yourself. And then building a strong ecosystem. Internally, we all have to make sure that you're registering companies, we all are interdependent on each other, right? So if you see, homeopaths need patients, patients needs medicine, homeopaths needs to be connected to the various companies, pharmaceutical companies. Like now Homeopathy 360 is there. We all are internally collaborated on various platforms. So this strong ecosystem, you will see it very wonderfully in the modern medicine, that the internal ecosystem is very strong, be it referral business or be it any other thing. So that is what is lacking in homeopathy still, because not everyone is having knowledge about who are the stakeholders and how to build this ecosystem. So I would say sharpen your tentacles even more. Try to learn from every successful doctor, how are they functioning, how to enter this ecosystem. Like I said, so first thing is start your practice, build your skills, build your profile. Next is advanced research and publishing. This is a very important aspect as a homeopath. And I'm not just talking research for the sake of dissertation or for the sake of completing your master's, but make sure that you are collaborating with different companies. If you have a friend of yours or a colleague of yours who is, you can say, working in a manufacturing company, if they have workers, say 100 workers, 50 workers in their company, you can ask if you can collaborate for that kind of research, and you can do or conduct that research for the workers over there. You should be able to brainstorm that this is my topic and how do I reach out to people for that sample size? From where can I get this sample size? Okay, so come up with newer ideas for that. And very importantly, like there are many startups right now who are registering themselves. Even in homeopathy, if you have some brilliant idea, something which is really very innovative, government is ready to fund your ideas. If you have that kind of potential, please be a leader in homeopathy and come up with something really good. But all this is possible when you are developing yourself simultaneously. Don't wait that I will complete my BHMS and then I will do this and then I'll do that. No. Everything, your entire personality building has to happen simultaneously. So I hope you have written down these points, because you need to yourself also brainstorm on each one of them, that what can you do to develop more of this. Let's go ahead. Now, a good homeopath. I don't know if you can post answers in Q&A. I don't think so. So a good homeopath, what do you think? How many cases can he see in a day? According to me, I think 15 to 25 cases, depending on the time. What do you think? What is capacity of a homeopath to take the case history himself, repertorize and give the medicine? You can just write it down or, note it. So few of you might say, I have seen homeopaths, those who see 100 patients in a day. Yes, there are those who see thousands of patients in a day. but they have reached that level after so many years of practice. Okay. So I would talk about a beginner homeopath, that if you want to be a good homeopath initially, with the time of case taking, counseling, repertorizing, if you're doing everything alone, around 15 to 25 cases you can see in a day. That means in a year, you can take around 10,000 consultations. But look at the population of India. If one person only wants to do all the marketing and wants to see all the patients, it is still not possible. How much ever greed you have of seeing the patients, that is not possible, because we are not able to reach out to every person out there. We need to be interdependent. We need to help our homeopathy community grow, and we need to help each other, right? Only then we can reach out to more people. So first thing, you must have seen, even when you're flying, people say, even the air hostess says that you have to first put your mask on for oxygen and then go and help somebody else, right? So this is what I would suggest you first. First, secure at least your space, your career, put your own oxygen mask, but also help other people out there. Also help your colleagues. Also help other homeopaths, those who are there with you, to be a part of this ecosystem. Okay, only then we can make homeopathy number one. Going ahead. Now, recently, me and some of the homeopaths, my friends, we had been to Dr. Dharmendra Sharma's OPD, where he asked us, what do you think, who do you think is a successful homeopath? So what do you think, who can be a successful homeopath? Okay, Dr. Ashutosh Kumar has said around 10. I think that is the best. If you are able to see 10 patients in a day with perfect case taking and counseling, that's super. What do you think about the statement that one has to be a successful homeopath? What do you mean by success? How do you define success? I'm sure every homeopath has a different perspective because we all are individually different. Some of you might think in terms of money, right? Some of you might think in terms of followers. Some of you might think in terms of number of patients. Some of you might think Google reviews zyada hai to practice successful hai. Some of you might say that when the patient reference increases, it's a successful practice, right? Any other answer that you all have? When allopathic doctors or modern medicine practitioners start referring patient to you, some of you might say that that is cure and success. Cure is success, right? Perfect. What is successful practice is to follow principles of homeopathy. Very great. So you see, each one of us is so individually different that we all want to be successful, and we have defined what success is. So what is stopping you from being that successful? I feel being successful is very subjective. Each one of you might have a different goal or objective. It might be in terms of money, might be in terms of number of patients. Some of you, those who are second and third generation homeopathy doctors, you might say that I want to do better than what my father or what my grandfather has done. So success is individually different, right? But all our aim is that we are able to be number one, you can say service provider, and homeopathy should be number one healthcare provider in India. Now, if you want to build a successful homeopathy career, I'm going to give you 15 steps. And this is very, very important. You can take screenshots or draw your notes. Okay. Now, I think most of you here are practicing doctors. Some of you might be teachers also. I would say that the current syllabus of homeopathy has got upgraded. It has become more practical oriented. So it is even better to develop practice approach since first BHMS. Now, every homeopath has a different story of entering into homeopathy. Many of you might have taken it by choice. Many of you might have entered it by destiny. Come may what. Once you have paid the fees, please make sure you're very focused on your career. So since first year onwards, if you're in your internship or whatever, please develop your practice approach. So what does practice approach mean? not just visiting other homeopaths clinic and observing patients. No, you have to get into the water to learn swimming, right? So it can be people in your house, in your area, your neighbors. They should start noticing you as a doctor first. I have seen many homeopaths, they start their clinic and there are no patients. And they are just waiting and waiting, doing marketing. You know, if you do marketing, as far as you're pouring money into it, you are getting patients, say 1 month, 2 months. And once you stop pouring money into marketing, the patient flow stops. Why is this happening? Because you haven't built your patient base before. So right from first year, when you're writing your journals, you're writing cases, please make sure that you are building your public relation. That is the second one. Building public relation means many a times you're living in a society and people around you don't even know that you're a practicing doctor because you have never introduced yourself. So attending public events is very important. You have to be very focused. Getting it? Introducing yourself as a homeopath, that yes, you're a student, or yes, you're pursuing MD. If there is any help that you need, I'll be always available. Please let me know. If you have to take case takings, if you have to do a research project, first you at least need to ask. Only when you ask, people are ready to help you or come to you, right? So please focus on building your public relations. Third thing, a doctor is a people's person. I have seen homeopaths have very less, you can say, people skills. Very less. We need to focus on this first because your case taking depends on people skills. Your counseling also depends on people skills. And the modern medicine is lacking it. And that is our strength. And if you don't focus on it, and if you're just waiting that one fine day I'll start a clinic and do marketing and get patients, it doesn't work like that. Okay, you need to be a people's person. People should look up to you as a doctor and they should feel like, yes, I want to go and get treated from her or him. So being a doctor, you have to be in people. You cannot be situated somewhere in a far clinic and just wait that patients will come by themselves. Okay. Fourth point, very important, build your patient base even before starting your clinic. I am stressing on this point. If you are still a student, first build your patient base. How will you build your patient base? Please make sure that you take real-time cases, you give them medicine, you can discuss the cases with your mentors, with your teachers, and get back to them, call them, ask if they're feeling better. This is how you build your patient base. By the time you complete your BHMS or MD, you at least have 25, 30, 50, 100 people that you have reached out to. And if you're just sitting and copying journals, it is not going to work that way. It is high time you have entered into a professional career. Okay? Your network is your net worth. Your network is very important. Meeting people. If you have any good seminar arranged in your college or in your institute, please make sure you go and speak to the speaker later on. Talk to them, interact with them, take their card. Say that you would like to, get more information about it from them. This is how you build a network. Maybe that person may not be of help right now, but maybe after a few years, you can do something in collaboration. Getting it? So you should be very visionary. If you are focused on practicing, it happens step by step. It doesn't happen one fine day you finish your degree and you start the clinic. No. Number 5, very important point, do reverse engineering and target mapping. Matlab kya? If you know your course is going to get over in say 2027 or 2028, start counting the years. Plan your target for every year. This year, what do I have to do? None of you do it, or very few doctors have this habit of being more organized about their career. Or what do? We always go with the flow. जो होता है वो देख लेंगे. ऐसा मत करो. If you want to survive in the homeopathy ocean, if you want to be a part of the market, you have to be target specific. So if you have one clinic right now and you feel, okay, I'm doing good enough, don't stay in that comfort zone. कि ठीक है मेरा एक clinic है, every day I'm seeing 4 patients, I'm happy. Try to push yourself. Try to think that there is a responsibility of reaching out to more people. Try to expand your clinic. Try to help some other homeopaths, those who don't have a clinic. Okay. So do reverse engineering of every year, that if I'm completing this, if I want to achieve this target in 2027, what are the steps that I need to take? Maybe right now, if you're having some shortage of money or money crunch, if you have to do some job somewhere, start planning that. Okay, I'll do a part-time teaching job here, and then I will be in the clinic from these hours. For how many months do I want to do it? If I have to work on skill development, what are the different skills that I have to work on? So map all this down properly. Imagine that you are your own assistant, you are your own PA, and you have to make the entire sheet and stick to your plan. Okay, I hope with the kind of intent that I'm trying to teach you, you're getting what I'm trying to say, right? So let's move ahead with the next one. Sixth, very important point, build a strong profile. And you need a good mentor. I would really like to thank Dr. Manisha Solanki, Dr. Parimal Joshi, Dr. Pradeep Sethia sir, Mr. Vineet Bansode sir, Dr. Shaila Nimkar. You know, people around you, your teachers, your professors, maybe some business coach, people are filling you with so many different skills. You just have to be a good student, right? You have to build a strong profile. Now, what do you mean by a profile? Can anyone let me know in the chat box? Building strong profile means what? How do you define that? See, whatever I'm talking is very interlinked to each other. It's like a flow. What do you think is a strong profile? Anybody? Does it only mean having good followers on Instagram? There are so many vague profiles who just make random reels and they have good followers. Are they a strong profile? Strong profile. There are various aspects of it. Number one is you have to be having capability and knowledge. You should be filled with knowledge. That is number one. So most of the times there is this argument. What do you think? Theory is more important or practical is more important in life? You know, your survival skills, people skills, practical skills are 80% important. But that 20%, when people say that knowledge is important or domain knowledge is important, that knowledge has to be superlative. You should be the best in what you do. So first thing of building a strong profile is your knowledge. You should be thorough with your principles of the knowledge that you have, your basics. Next thing, under practice of a good homeopath. Yes, you need a good mentor also who doesn't make you crippled. I don't want you to be dependent on your mentor. You should be able to apply the knowledge yourself. So building a strong profile, let's come back to that. Number one is being knowledgeable. Number two is expanding in your ecosystem. You should be known to people. How will you be known to people? By doing something good for the society, by coming with a cause. Come up with a cause. That is very important. You need to work for a cause. That is how people know you. That is how people look up to you. Number three, first is knowledge, education, coming up with a cause. Number three, developing your association with bigger brands. That is very important. And I'm not talking about some random brand. Why am I talking about this? Like I said, we all are in an ecosystem. We are interdependent. So start developing your relations, your PR with the people, those who are senior to you in this particular field. So that when there is need of any particular skill, and if you're good at it, they might appoint you over there. That is how you start upgrading yourself. You be in a better environment altogether. Okay, if you don't meet people, if you don't showcase your talents and knowledge, people are not going to appoint you anywhere. If tomorrow we come up with some big plan, if we get some good government funding, and if I want somebody to be on this position, I will try to look out for someone who is already in my vicinity, right? So similarly, try to make sure that you are connected with your seniors in the ecosystem. Next point is focus on personal brand building. All of you individually are a personal brand. Okay? You need to develop your personality. When you're in the clinic, when you're a consulting homeopath, you're watching, uh, you're being watched by the patients as well, by the people around you. I said you're a people's person. You have to make sure about your personal hygiene. You are up to date. You are using the latest technology. Everything is on point. The way you communicate, your a personality building, you are healthy yourself. How is your posture? Everything matters. And all that is personal brand. Today, people are spending lakhs of money to the mentors to build their personal brand. And it is actually self-realization. So start working on yourself, conducting yourself in a way. Next, very important is skill development. Like I said, latest is Gemini, AI, different technological skills are being upgraded. I have seen many homeopaths, they don't know how to use Google Sheets. They don't know how to use Zoom. These have become the survival skills today. They don't know how to uh, use a laptop for consultation. Each one of us have to upgrade if you want to be a part of the ecosystem in the long run. Rigidity doesn't last long. You have to be more flexible. Build think tanks and brainstorming sessions. Think tanks is what? If, for example, say Dr. Shubhangi comes up with a great startup idea and she wants to share it with someone, there has to be some access, right? Where all of us can sit and discuss, brainstorm. Okay, this is the idea. How do we implement it? So build think tanks, which is very important for brainstorming. And what can be done? What new solution can you do? What is the innovation in homeopathy? And all this is possible when we all really get dynamized. Okay. Marking your niche. What is niche? Can anyone tell me? I won't take much of your time. What do you think is a niche? Anybody? When we say each one of us should build our own niche, niche is marking your space in the market, marking your expertise. Yes, special area of specialty. You, all of you remember, you have to be number one in whatever niche that you mark. You should be first in India. Getting it? Think about it. What is the gap in market? You know, homeopathy has a huge scope. Like I said, there is so much work to be done that each one of us can come up with a new niche. Brainstorm, think, where is the gap? What is the need of our? So when you want to build a niche, there is a triad to it. Number one is, what is the need? What do people need? So our end user here is the patient. We are in the healthcare system, right? So what do the patients need is number one. Number two, what is trending? What is trending in the market? What is trending in the field of homeopathy? There are very few homeopaths, those who stay updated even on the government websites, that what is happening in homeopathy. So what is trending is what you should understand. And number three, what new are you providing? जो इसके पहले कभी दिया नहीं गया है, जो इसके पहले is the gap. You have to fill in that gap. And if each one of you starts thinking in this way, trust me, homeopathy can be number one. Because if people demand homeopathy, nobody can stop you from being number one. You just have to provide that solution. You have to understand the nerve. Okay, so try and figure out. You may not come with a niche in a day or two, but during this journey, make sure that you are spending time for brainstorming. Okay, going ahead, last 5 things that in order to build a successful homeopathy career. Next, always give back to ecosystem. We all, like I said, are part of this ecosystem. If I say that, no, I will practice individually, I don't want to help anybody, I don't want to collaborate with anyone, I am not going to grow. Be like an ocean. Even if you take a spoon out of it, it doesn't matter. You all are here to help each other, support each other. Getting it? So giving back to ecosystem, the kind of knowledge that you have, if there is something, like I said, the solution that you can come up with, which can be useful for other people also, it will be really helpful. If you're making good content, if you're writing good articles, please make sure you reach out to various publications, you reach out to various journals. It doesn't matter if they're not paying you. Okay, it doesn't matter. Because you're going to be a part of this ecosystem. Building goodwill in the market is very, very important. Do everything 100%. Don't look at the result कि मुझे पैसा मिलने वाला है नहीं मिलने वाला है. Automatically, if you do great ना, things come back to you. So give back to the ecosystem. This is very important. Collaborate and grow. Teach your skills to people. No, you're not going to be less. If there is something good about you, like I said, everyone is individually different. It is going to remain in you. Getting it? So collaborate and grow. Research. Take help from your network. Like I gave an example. If, say, for example, some of your father or somebody is in a big company, in a big IT company, and if you want to conduct some research, or if your parents are HR somewhere, or if you know any HR in a big company, you can always go and talk to them, saying that, I am a practitioner, I have this proprietary firm, and I want to, this is my research project. Can I do this for your employees or do it for your workers? Maybe if you knock 10 doors, 9 people will say no, but 10th person might say yes. It might turn out to be the biggest opportunity of your life. You never know. There are very big brands like Bajaj, Amul, those who are using homeopathy. Today, people have become more positive towards homeopathy. You never know, some big company like Infosys might allow you. So it's always good to dream big because it motivates you to take efforts. The what you can say possibility of the opportunity turning into success makes you take more efforts, right? So don't be shy to ask or talk to people. If you know some hospital, maybe someone in your connect is maybe on the board of director in some hospital, you can ask them that I want to do this research project. Can I take help of your patients for that? Next, consistent visibility is very important. Like I said, if I start a clinic and I'm sitting in the clinic just waiting for my patients, nobody's going to turn out. Consistent visibility is important. TOM is you have to be on the top of the mind of people. Getting it? So every day, if you're putting some story on WhatsApp, say that I have started my clinic in so and so area, these are my practice hours. You come up with some good topic to talk about. You make small video messages. You type some good content. If you're spreading it on your WhatsApp groups, people should know that you're working every day. That is your visibility. You must have seen, if you check your inbox on Gmail, there are random messages from, say, Nykaa or Swiggy or all the different apps that you're using every day. And because of that, these brands always remain on the top of your mind. It is the same. Because, like I said, homeopathy, we all have to take a lot of efforts to bring homeopathy on the top. So you have to build your visibility for homeopathy. That, okay, I'm doing this is my niche, or this is what I'm doing. People should know. People should watch it every day. People randomly put status and people are just spending hours watching stories of other people, which makes no sense. If you're putting something worth about homeopathy and people are reading it, they might turn out to be your patients, or they might invite you as a speaker somewhere. Getting it? So always have a bigger vision, and your visibility is very important. Don't wait for the day ki I will launch my clinic and then ribbon cutting ke photos I'll post on story. No, you are a doctor every single day, right? From first BHMS. Remember that. And lastly, improve your counseling skills and communication. I have seen even after passing PG, people don't have counseling skills. Why am I specifying this? Because don't waste your years not thinking about practical skills. It is never too late to start. Counseling skills are built when you interact with more patients, when you listen to their stories, when you're able to provide them the solution that they need. Understanding the root cause. You might be wrong initially, maybe 5, 10 cases you're not able to counsel correctly. It's fine. But only when you do it, you will understand. By observing other person's counseling, you might just learn the technique, but you might learn his or her technique. You will not develop your own. Getting it? Not every person counsels in the same angle. So first start imbibing, first identify कि आपका क्या forte है और उसके हिसाब से आप counseling करो. Getting it? Don't just copy people कि उसने वो sentence बोला counseling के time पे, even I will try this. Don't do that. It's okay even if you're wrong initially. That is how you learn. Okay? Yeah. So, sir has asked, please shed more light on use and scope of AI in homeopathy. AI is very, very important today. And actually, my husband himself has his own advertising agency and he conducts corporate trainings on AI. Initially for homeopaths also, we have done this. I also try and put some small reels. How can you improve your language with AI? So many a times what happens is patient has given you case and you're not able to understand the rubrics of repertorization. Okay, what are the exact emotions or what is the meaning of a particular word? In such cases, if you put up the story of that patient in AI, in Gemini, Google is able to tell you the different adjectives or emotions that describe the patient's mindset. And you can use it for repertorization. Okay. There are various, you can say pros and cons of AI. I think we should conduct a separate webinar where we'll just talk about AI because people are also using it for writing their articles and research projects. I think that is not the right way of using it or writing books. I've seen people writing books out of AI and publishing it. So the correct use of AI, which will really help you in your practice, is more important. So, like I said, improving your language. If you have written an article, if you want to avoid mistakes in it, or if you want to upgrade the language of it, you can use AI for that. You can use AI just to scroll through the latest innovation that is happening in homeopathy anywhere in the corner of world. You can also briefly go through what is new, even what government has introduced, or what is perspective of people, etc. You can use AI for making reels where you have to use different AI generated images. So there is AI is beyond imagination. It has really made lives of homeopaths really easy, I feel. So, sir, definitely will come up with a webinar where we'll definitely guide more on AI and scope of it. And lastly, why have I put this up is people think I will pay a lot of money for marketing and build a nice Google review this thing. Your organic growth matters because even these days people understand if the review is real or fake. Okay, our patients are more smarter than us, even they are using AI, right? So organic growth is more important. What is organic growth? Organic growth is your reach to the real people. How many people know you in person and they're writing review for you? What is your goodwill out there? That is what is going to touch the nerve of your patient. Getting it? Just spending money in marketing is not the right way to do. Build your organic growth. That is important. So I have shared some 15 tips. Do think about it. Also, like I said, we are associated with NSS units of various colleges. We conduct health camps for them. I am, like I said, we are a team of 80 plus homeopaths in the core team. I try to take them for camps. So do something for the community. May your word of homeopathy reach out to people. We are associated with various companies also. So even if I am just a medium, you can see that actually homeopathy is reaching out to all these brands, right? Similarly, you also try to think about it. And if you want to know more, if you want to stay connected, you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Sharayu's e-learning courses on the website. You want to stay connected on WhatsApp, that is the contact details. And once again, I would like to thank all of you that in spite of being almost half an hour late, you all were so patient throughout the webinar. We can take Q&A if there is time. Thank you so much, Dr. Mansi Tyagi. Thank you so much, Homeopathy 360 and BGen, for allowing me to conduct this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for such informative webinar. And it's so important to understand how we can grow, how we can enhance our knowledge, and how we can actually apply this knowledge in the real world. So it's really very important to understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Are there
so
any
much.
Q's and A's?
So if any student or any practitioner want to question about this webinar or have any query, please ask in the question answer box. And also other attendees can clear their doubts in the YouTube. We will upload this recording on Homeopathy 360 channel.
Dr. Parshva Bugate, thank you so much for your wonderful message. I am just a medium. I am happy that you could introspect more about it. All the very best. And if you need any help, you can always connect with me. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gauri. Dr. Priyanka, you have raised your hand. Thank you, Dr. Damini. Always happy to help. Bindas practice karo, promote homeopathy. And if you need any help, we all are there to help each other, right? Thank you, Dr. Vijaya. There are so many female homeopathy practitioners out here.
Thank you so much, everybody, for such beautiful reviews. And we thank a special thanks to Dr. Shreyus for giving us your precious time and to taught everyone about the application of homeopathy. This was really helpful. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's about it for today from my end. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night. Good night, everyone.